Aston Villa's brand new state-of-the-art club shop just opened this season. It was the perfect place to get my new Villa shirt printed. I was here last season and the transformation it's undergone is nothing short of incredible. But rather than me just telling you about it, let's step inside so you can see it yourself.
I'll show you the difference between replica and authentic versions. We'll add a name set at the heat press station. Then we'll dive into the club's history seen in these brilliant displays. Front and center, a lion statue made of bricks that feature the name of every captain in the club's history. We'll come back to this later.
This place is an experience on its own. Amazing redesign.
First, let's do a little before and after comparison. You can't tell from the outside, but once you step in, it's evident. The way the kits are presented, the heat press station has undergone a significant evolution, and the photos displaying the club's history, while before they were nice, they lacked context. Now, there's a conducive narrative. These little details make all the difference. Now, onto the kits.
Kits for days. Check out everything they got in the Villa shop.
All of the Villa stars on display here. It looks great to see these options and really helps you kind of visualize what shirt you're gonna get. Premier League printing, cup printing, whichever one you fancy, you can see it on the shirt before you buy it. The home kit may make up most of the displays, but the away and goalkeeper versions are also out. Personally, I'm heading a little further down.
This one's what I'm gonna get.
I was tempted to get a goalkeeper kit just because they do have long sleeves and obviously they look amazing with that Emi Martinez 23 on the back. I do have a goalkeeper shirt from last season, but it is blank on the back, so I don't know, may have to come back for another. And the most recently released third kit. You can see here the Watkins 11, that's the cup printing, and the Daily 9, that's the WSL printing. So no shortage of options. Honestly, I think this font looks great on the Champions League style with that Champions League badge, of course. One of the cups that Villa is competing in this season. The blue and the silver, it's just a brilliant combination. How good does that star ball on the sleeve look? It's amazing. I saw a John Duran kit here. That was the first thing that was on my mind. Honestly, Duran was on my mind all afternoon. That's probably why he scored. Thought about getting a Duran shirt, but I didn't, so keep watching and you'll see what I chose. It's not only the brand new Adidas kits in stock at the Villa Club shop, you can also snag some retro shirts. Villa's partnership with ScoreDraw means you can get these replica reprints of classic Villa kits throughout the ages and do so at a bargain price. Maybe you don't want to spend as much on one of the new shirts. Maybe you just want to wear the shirt that looks like the one Villa wore when they lifted the European Cup in 1982. Either way, you can get some sick kits from days gone by at the club shop.
Everyone asking about what's the difference between the fan version and the authentic or the player version. You can see right here on the shoulders, quite a lot different than these shoulders. You can see stitched on.
I thought about getting the authentic version, but decided to go with the replica version. Additionally, the fit of the shirt is going to be a little bit tighter. Adidas makes slim fit styles for both the replica and the authentic player version kit, so even the fan version is a little tighter these days, but the player version is even tighter than the fan version.
Obviously, you can still get the same printing, but the material also a lot different. This is going to be lighter. You can see on the sides, this kind of heat-ready material. That's what Adidas calls it, heat-ready versus aero-ready. Printing is gonna be exactly the same, but you can tell by the crest. This is a lot more detailed. You can see on the lion, the drop shadow, the numbers kind of stick out instead of being a stitched-on crest. And this is heat applied with the heat press rather than being stitched on.
And like I was saying, lightweight, the details like the club crest are heat transferred for maximum lightness. As this sign says, it's the ultra breathable heat ready fabric. I have some other videos about the differences between all types of football kits, so if you want to learn more about football kits, now is a great time to subscribe.
But yeah, not too much of a difference, but those little touches that make it even lighter for the players so they can perform their best when they're out on the pitch. Already got the home, so let's get the third kit, and now time to personalize it.
Over to the heat press station, the before and after in this area of the store is striking. Last year, I think they maybe only had 2 or 3 heat presses. Now, there's a wall of them. If you've seen my tutorials, you know that it doesn't take too long for the badge to be applied on the sleeve of the shirt. Just a few seconds on the heat press, there it is. All of the numbers and printing within the middle station right here, they just grab them, add them to the shirt. Next, after the sleeve badge is, of course, the name and number. Gotta line it up very properly to get the name set on there. You can see now, I went with Jacob Ramsey, number 41. It's gonna line that up with the ruler, make sure it's at the right distance from the top. A striped shirt probably helps in that regard. And then once the name is positioned, the number goes on, and again, measure down to the T, ensuring ample space in between it. Heat press goes down on there for maybe 30 seconds, and then quickly off peels the numbers onto press the name for another few seconds. Quick reveal and time to cool it off and check it out. I walk over to my spot, get my final inspection, and then it's folded up. I love the AV 150 detail on the back of the neck. Now that we've got the shirt sorted, let's go learn about some of the club's history.
This is about Villa's FA Cup that was stolen. £10 reward. Honestly, I don't think I'd bring it back for £10.
There are so many brilliant touches within this store. We start off seeing some old news clippings, articles, and speaking of history, there's a whole lot of that in store here. This brilliant display features kits and programs from some of the club's proudest days. Bobby Thompson from when Villa won the league, and then down below, Tony Morley when Aston Villa lifted the league title to clinch qualification to the European Cup. The Super Cup final shirt from when Villa beat Barcelona to win another European trophy. Paul McGrath in the UEFA Cup shirt. That's just a classic worn by God himself. David Platt in this white shirt, also signed from when Villa played Inter. Dean Saunders' strip from when Villa were runners-up in the inaugural Premier League season. Steve Staunton in the green Muller yogurt, that's a popular one for a lot of fans. Brian Small from that triumphant League Cup final in 1994. Then we have a Gareth Southgate shirt. I think a lot of people forget that the former England manager actually played for Aston Villa. Ugo Yogu, rest in peace. Here's his shirt from the League Cup final. Dion Dublin and this classic LDV Vans shirt from the FA Cup final against Chelsea. Ian Taylor, another Villa legend, love seeing him singing on the away days. Here's his UEFA Cup away shirt. Then we've got a 2014-15 Shay Given goalkeeper shirt from the FA Cup semi-final. Great days when Villa beat Liverpool. Jack Grealish and Christian Benteke at the center of the action. Then this one's my favorite shirt, the 2018-19 promotion shirt, worn by Uncle Al, Albert Adoma. This one from the playoff final at Wembley when Villa clinched promotion back to the Premier League. You can check out the full story about that in my video about the rise of Aston Villa. Last two, Robin Olsen in the UEFA Europa Conference League, and a shirt from this summer signed by the whole squad from the preseason tour. Of course, right when you enter the store, you're greeted with this brick lion front and center, a great sculpture, and like I said, it has the name of every club captain in Aston Villa history engraved on a brick. How many of them do you know? Since I started following Villa, these are some of the captains who have been in charge. Ron Vlaar, Jack Grealish, Tyrone Mings next to each other. We've even got John Terry, Micah Richards, and Fabian Delph, even if memories of them might not be as fond. John McGinn, James Chester, Gareth Barry, Stilian Petrov, Gabriel Agbalnahor. I mentioned Gareth Southgate earlier, he's up there. Obviously the club shop is focused around football kits, but there are a lot of other items, and even some exclusive stuff. These hoodies and shirts aren't available to buy online, so I was delighted to find some exclusive stuff when I was in town. We've also got the ZNE range made by Adidas. It's the pre-match and arrival gear that you see the players wearing. I thought about grabbing one of these black hoodies, but ultimately my luggage was already too full. The black club crest on that black hoodie though, it's pretty sick. I may have to go back. Then we've got things like Champions League balls and official merchandise, a whole wall of scarves here. Any Villa scarf, pick it to your liking. A lot of half and halves were flying off the shelves for the big occasion against Bayern. Then we've got home goods, knickknacks. There's a lot of coffee cups. You want to start your day thinking about the Villa, why not? Grab a coffee cup, maybe a pint glass, end the day having a beer, relaxing, talking about Villa. And just like the half and half scarves, there were a couple other small items to commemorate the occasion. I hope you enjoyed my tour of the new Villa Club shop. Let me know what your favorite things were. Did you pick up any items there? What your experience was like, or what else you want to see in the future. Thank you, Footy Fam. A special thanks to the VIPs and Ultras who are paid subscribers on the Footy Fam Patreon. This video wouldn't be possible without your support. If you want to see your name in the credits and get other awesome perks like BTS content and more, make sure to subscribe via the link in the description.